Okay, let's start. Okay, so we are deep in this discussion about the half shekel. Just to recap where we're up to. Moshe Rabbeinu is told by Hashem that every Jew has to give a half coin to be an atonement for the sin of the golden calf. Moshe Rabbeinu was puzzled by this, and there's various interpretations what his question was. Either his question was, how can this be an atonement? Or he has no idea what the meaning of a half coin is. And in response, Hashem shows him the coin of fire. And we are wondering what his question was, what the answer is. And to understand this, we began discussing the halachas of the half coin. We went to intricate discussion in Nigla yesterday about how there's two components in the midst of the half coin. One is that he has to give it in one installment. He has to give the whole entire half coin at once. And the second is that the item he's giving has to be a half coin. And we learned yesterday the difference between these two approaches, between these two elements in the midst of the half coin, rather, that if you say it's a mitzvah to give an item of a half coin, but that the person who's giving it doesn't have to give it in one installment, or vice versa, then there are various halachic differences. Are you allowed to take the half coin and break it in pieces? So the item is a half coin, or is the person giving it in one installment? But let's not go back to the halachic intricacies right now. Let's continue on. And where are we? We are on page. We are on page. I think I sent you guys the wrong PDF for the Sikh that we're learning. Hold on a second. Let me do a screen sharing over here, because I think I sent you guys the wrong Sikha. There's a great website that has all of the all the Sikhas on which, and not only the Sikhas, it also has the translations in Hebrew and some things in English as well. Everything is online. It's there. I don't know how these guys did it, but they have everything here online. Okay. Okay. Say, Fiza Yuvan Madua has well Zagitnu, Kamina Beshal, Ish, Etzkish Borchu, Vitachas Kisse, Kvede, Verel, Mesh of Amal Zayitnu, Kazayitnu. According to understand why Hashem had to show Moshe Rabbeinu a coin of fire, and the meaning of the words, this is what you should give, is interpreted by the Medrash as a coin of fire, not simply a actual coin. We're going to understand that everything we were wondering about before. What's Moshe's question? What is Hashem answering him? Let's go. The difference between fire and other elements of creation are other materials like wind, water, and earth are measured according to quantity, according to the volume, the area that they take up, or they're measured according to their financial worth. That's other elements in creation, like wind, water, and earth. Fire, on the other hand, is not measured according to the place that it occupies, and it is not limited in area. It's not limited in the space. The essence of fire is more of a quality thing, as Zev was telling us 2 days ago. But and even a small fire grows. So fire is more of a quality thing, and therefore it doesn't have the same kind of measurement as all other materials like wind and earth and therefore, if Hashem would have shown that the Jewish people would not have known. Can you still hear me? It says my internet connection is okay. Good. The Jewish people would not have known what exactly is the mitzvah and what they have to give. Is it sufficient that they bring the worth of a half coin, and they can bring whatever they want? They can come to Beis Hamikdash with chewing gum and the value of a half coin of chewing gum. As long as it equals up to the half coin of silver, it's good. Or they specifically have to give silver, which is worth a half coin. That's one second option that might be that they don't know. Or should it be a coin whose weight is a half coin of silver? So that's what the question they would have had, and they did have, just when Hashem told them to give a half coin of silver. Are we allowed to give the value of it? Are we allowed to give silver? That's the same value. Are we allowed to give, or do we have to specifically give a coin that's worth this amount? And that's why Hashem showed them the coin of fire. The weight of the half coin of fire was a half shekel. What was the point of Hashem showing Moshe Rabbeinu this half coin of fire? To emphasize that the mitzvah over here is not the quantity, it's not the value, even the value of silver. Rather, Hashem wants us to give a specific thing and a specific item, a coin of a half shekel. Kolemer. The mitzvah is not to give the value of silver of a half coin. And one of the conditions is that the value of silver, the way the silver should be presented, it shouldn't be a ring, it should be a coin. Don't think that the mitzvah is to give the value of silver, and that there's another point about the mitzvah, that the detail in the mitzvah. Like we're learning yesterday about the mitzvah of davening. Don't think that the mitzvah of giving the half shekel is similar to the mitzvah of davening, and where the mitzvah is to serve Hashem with all your heart. And there's a detail in the mitzvah, you have to say the words. You don't say the words, not doing the mitzvah. The mitzvah, but the main mitzvah of davening is not the fact that it's the main mitzvah of davening is not that you're giving, that you're saying the words. The main mitzvah of davening is serving Hashem with your heart. But there's a detail in this mitzvah that you have to say the words. So you might think by the half shekel also. You might think the main mitzvah, the half shekel, is you should give to Hashem silver that's worth a half shekel. And Hashem happens to desire a detail about this mitzvah, what is the form Hashem wants. A detail of this is it should be a coin of a half shekel. That's the type of currency you should use. That's what you might think. So Hashem says, no, Zui Kol Muhusa Mitzvah. This is the entire essence of the mitzvah. It's not just I have a detail that I'm asking you to do. You also give the currency of a half coin. That's just a detail in the mitzvah. Rather, that's the entire essence of what the mitzvah is. Hashem says the currency is the main point. I want the currency of a half coin. I'm not interested in you giving silver that happens to be worth a half coin. I want the currency of a half coin. That's why Hashem showed Moshe Rabbeinu the coin of fire. The coin of fire expresses it's something which can't be measured by financial value. Only by the exact substance of what it is. So in a similar way, when Hashem tells us to give the coin, the half coin, I want exactly what I want the quality of what I'm asking you to give. I'm not asking for the quantity, I'm not asking for the value. The essence of what I'm asking you to give is the quality of the specific currency of a half coin. This is the essence of the mitzvah. Butter, obviously, we can't give the actual coin of fire. We can't give to Hashem an actual coin of fire. We wouldn't have coins of fire. So when Hashem says to give the coin of fire, what does he mean? He says, take what's unique about the coin of fire, which is that fire is something which can't be measured. Fire is something which is its entity, its existence is its quality. It doesn't matter the size of the fire. As long as it's fire, it could be any size. From one, as we all know in Los Angeles, the fires start and Chas v'shalom, it spreads so rapidly. So with fire, quantity doesn't make a difference. So to Hashem says, transfer what you know about fire to silver. I want the unique quality of the half coin. That's what the mitzvah is about. Now let's go back to the Taisus. We asked before, the two explanations of Taisus seem to contradict each other. Taisus, again, just to remind you, Taisus was asking, the Gemara mentions there are 3 times Moshe wondered. Moshe wondered about the reptiles, Moshe wondered about the menorah, and Moshe wondered about the moon. The Gemara doesn't mention the half coin story. Why not? So we have 2 Taisus in explaining this. According to this, we'll understand how the 2 explanations we gave before, not only are they not arguing with each other, rather they are in sync and they fit perfectly with the 2 meanings of the gift of the half coin. The Sechta Menachos is number Taisus Mishum Delo Yehave Eze Matbeya Viu Mishum Ininim Lo Yamareu. Taisus in Menachos says Moshe had no idea what they should give unless Hashem showed him. What I mean, we asked before, what would he not have known? Easy, half coin, we get it. No, Moshe would not have known. Why? If Hashem would have shown him a coin of fire, if Hashem wouldn't have shown him the coin of fire, Moshe wouldn't have known at all. Not only would Moshe have a question about this, by other things, we said by the reptiles, Moshe didn't know exactly which reptiles were forbidden. By the moon, Moshe didn't know exactly what size the moon has to be for it to be considered Rosh Chodesh. And regarding the mitzvah of the half shekel, Moshe would have no idea what does Hashem mean when Hashem says, give this half coin. What is it? What is the condition that needs to be in the object of the coin that makes this kosher to be the half coin? That's how Taisus and Menachos explains why this question of Moshe is a different category than all the others. By all the others, Moshe knew what Hashem was talking about. Here, Moshe had no idea what Hashem was talking about. Is he talking about the value of silver? Is it silver that has to be the value of a half coin and should also be the currency? Is that a condition in the mitzvah? And only by Hashem showing him the half coin of fire did Moshe understand Hashem wants the quality of the half coin. It has to, the fundamental component in the mitzvah is that it's a half coin of silver. It's a currency of a half coin. That's what Moshe was wondering about. What is it you're talking about, Hashem? I have no idea what you're talking about. And that's Hashem responding to him. Hashem is telling him, I want you to give I want you to give a coin of silver. I want you to give a coin of fire, meaning I want you to give this something that what's unique about it is its quality and not don't focus on the quantity. Don't focus on the value of a half coin. It has to be the value of a half coin. But what I want, Hashem says, is the quality of it, meaning that it is the currency of the half coin. That's the mitzvah. That's what Tesa says in Chulin. I'm sorry, in Menachos. So after Chulin, number Tesa Shintumas Shomesha and it says Gavra Mayuchon Letidin Karvanashi in the carbon. In Masechta Chulin, Tesa says a different point. Another element that Moshe was wondering about. It's not a contradiction. Another point, another angle. Moshe's question was, how can a person give a coin? It's not a sacrifice. He's just giving a coin. How does this coin achieve atonement? If it was a sacrifice, we'd understand why it achieves atonement. Just a coin. How does a coin achieve atonement? That's why Hashem, that's how Sefta Chulin addresses Moshe's question. So in the language that we learned yesterday, Gafra and Chefza, object and person, you could, in every mitzvah, there's two elements. There's the person doing the mitzvah, and there is the object with which the mitzvah is done. In Masechta Menachos, the focus of Moshe's question is about the item. Moshe is wondering, what is the item you're give? And Hashem is answering, I'm telling you, I want you to give specifically this quality of a coin of the coin of fire. What is the quality of a half coin? The currency of a half coin. That's the mitzvah. Whatever its quality is, whatever its unique characteristic is, that's what the mitzvah is. The mitzvah is to give the half coin. In Masechta Chulin, Moshe's question is about the person who's giving the half coin. How does he get a kapara by giving the half coin? What is it? Was it about giving the half coin that caused him to have an atonement? So we still didn't answer though. How did Moshe's question, according to the Chulin version, get answered by Hashem showing him the coin of fire? How indeed does it achieve atonement? Let's go to Ezayin. The fizeh to me estimation of me idiosim machsa shekeli carbon yetze shaina sharlogosh bot matesh leish lo yirak ne lahas really met mashmos and mitzah mitzah chatz machsa shekel gam lahas was needs them gav kapar carbon. According to this, we can say the Moshe Rabbeinu's wonder. How can a coin be an atonement? And Hashem's response by showing him the coin of fire, Hashem's response was not only to tell him what kind of item that he had to give, Hashem's response was also to tell him why this will work. Why will this achieve atonement? How? How can the coin achieve atonement? How does a coin of fire explain why a Jew giving a coin to Hashem achieves atonement? As the explanation is like this. Next column. The kapara kluyim shnei inyanim. There are two elements in kapara. Ala kapara means karbonis, the chapar l'shesechem, basically for nafshe. There's one kind of atonement which is achieved through sacrifices. Kapara l'chapar l'shesechem, as the Torah says, that you should give the sacrifices to be an atonement for your souls. And then there's something else called koifer nafshe. Koifer nafshe means pidyon nefesh, to save your soul. In other words, koifer nafshe is more about not an atonement for your soul, it's an exchange for your soul. Like the chicken that we use for kapara, for Yom Kippur, it's an exchange. So there's two elements in kapara. Either you're giving a sacrifice, that the sacrifice should cause atonement for your soul, or you're giving something to Hashem instead of your life, instead of your soul. Kapara, the kaponasi, what's the meaning of the kapara through sacrifices? Mashmos and kapara mechila. What is the theme of a sacrifice? Forgiveness. The sin that was done should be forgiven. The sin that was done should be erased. That's the theme of what a sacrifice does. We look at koifer nafshe, but giving koifer nafshe, giving an exchange for your soul, it's not about the sin being removed. It's about exchanging your soul, and unlike by the kaparas before Yom Kippur, where you're giving Hashem in exchange of giving your life, you're giving the chicken, and you're supposed to picture in your mind that whatever's supposed to happen to the chicken should have happened to you, etc. Here, the meaning is you're exchanging what your soul was before, and you're becoming someone else. Koifer nafshe means exchanging your soul, having a different soul than you had before. So karbonis is more about topical. It's taking the sin off of your soul. Koifer nafshe, which is the idea of the half coin, is about exchanging, getting a different soul. These two elements also exist in in the way we become pure from all kinds of impurity. When a person immerses in a mikveh, the water removes the impurity. Tefillah be'esh, the Gemara, iket tvos menura, inim sir satuma, al technu kibosa esh kipshuta, machzil kivshon neitzeres mitzizach lash lagam. And there's something else. Something else is you take a item which is not kosher and you put it into fire. Or in some instances, fire is not good enough. You can't put, for example, earthenware vessels, china. You cannot put china back into fire. Doesn't make it kosher. The only way for fire to become kosher, for china rather, to become kosher, is to put it back in the kiln. You put it back in the kiln with which it was made, so then it's considered like a brand new entity, and then it is considered kosher. So there's two ways that impurity is removed. One is putting something in water, which takes away the impurity. You buy something new, or you have something which has impurity on it. In time of the Beis Hamikdash, it was immersed in water. And there's another kind of thing, immersion in fire, or not just in fire, but directly in the kiln, in the source of fire, that causes a new entity. It's not considered the same earthenware it was before. It's considered something brand new. It's considered a new piece of china. This is the distinction between the atonement of the sacrifices and what the half shekel accomplishes. Sacrifices in general, what do sacrifices do? They atone for a sin done by accident. They certainly can't forgive you for a sin that's done on purpose and for a sin that violates one of the biggies, like kares. A person ate chametz on Pesach. A person deserves a death penalty. Sacrifices don't work. There's a death penalty. However, the half coin that was given, what was it trying to atone for? It was trying to atone for a sin that's ordinarily punishable by death, the sin of the golden calf. And therefore, there had to be kofer nafshe, there had to be a brand new entity. You can't achieve atonement for the sin of the golden calf, which is idol worship, which is punishable by death. Through a sacrifice, sacrifices won't work for that kind of sin. The only way to become atoned for the sin of idol worship is to become a different person. And how do you become a different person? That's what the half coin accomplishes. The half coin is not a sacrifice, not a topical atonement. Rather, it's a renewal. There's now a new entity here. That's why Hashem showed Moshe Rabbeinu the coin of fire. Hashem was telling Moshe Rabbeinu, you know why this works? This works just like fire. Just like you take those non-kosher pieces of china, you put them back in the kiln, and they become something new. So too, the gift of the Jew to Hashem of the half coin causes the Jew to be considered a different entity than he was before, and therefore he's forgiven. Let's do a little bit of Eisches. I know it's a little bit late. It's only 7:03 though, so let's do a little bit more. Hashem showed Moshe Rabbeinu a coin of fire to emphasize that what I want isn't quantity, what I want isn't the value, what I want is the quality of the currency of a half coin. And just like fire's main component is its quality, so to Hashem says that's what you should give. However, Rashi says, as mentioned before, the coin of fire that Hashem showed actually had a weight. It weighed a half coin. As Rashi says, Hashem showed him, it weighed a half coin. The coin of fire weighed a half coin. So since Hashem made this additional miracle, there is in another message here, which Hashem will see tomorrow what that new message is. Why did Hashem have to show him a coin of fire that weighed? The whole point is to emphasize quality over quantity. What's the point of it weighing the value of a half coin? But before we depart on to Los Angeles for today, Don't worry, you have plenty of time till boarding. I just want to point out what we just want to review briefly what we did today. Number one, we explained the question we had. How Tosfos seems to contradict each other. Was Moshe wondering what the half coin was at all, or did he know what the half coin was and just didn't know how it achieves atonement? And we explained that Moshe Rabbeinu did not know at all what Hashem meant when Hashem said to give the half coin. Moshe Rabbeinu thought that it could have been, and he wouldn't have known that it could have been also the value of a half coin, and it was specifically by Hashem showing him the coin of fire that Moshe understood that what Hashem's intent is the quality, the characteristic of the currency of a half coin. That's the message Hashem gave Moshe Rabbeinu by showing him the coin of fire. And Moshe Rabbeinu had another question. Besides the fact he didn't know what it was, the Tosfos in Chulin says there's another question, a whole new question he had. He had to know, what does that have to do with the person? He had a question about the chefza, a question about the item that was given, and a question about the person who was achieving atonement through this item. So Hashem answered Moshe Rabbeinu's question about the item itself by showing him a coin of fire, telling him, I want the quality of, the characteristic of the currency of a half coin. And Hashem also answered Moshe Rabbeinu's question about how could it achieve atonement by showing him a coin of fire? How does showing him a coin of fire explain to Moshe the atonement? Because just like fire causes an item that has become ritually impure, or more accurately, not kosher, by putting the china back into the kiln, the china can become kosher again. So too, Dr. Einstein actually did this. He had some china, and he's able to bring it into the kiln to renew his china. Anyways, so just like fire causes there to be a renewal, so too, since in this scenario, the Jewish people have done a grave sin, they've done a sin that's ordinarily punishable by death. The only way they could achieve atonement is not through a sacrifice. Sacrifices are just topical; they remove the sin. The only way they could be forgiven is through matbeah, through machta shekel, which was kofer nafshe, by exchanging what their soul was before to become a brand new entity. And somehow, by giving the half coin, they became a brand new entity, as we shall see why the half coin does that. All right. Thank you all for listening. Any questions or comments or criticism of tomatoes or cucumbers? All right, have a great day, Dr. Bressman. Great day, David.
One quick question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
You said fire and wind, was it, that has no measurement? Was it just fire, or was wind and fire?
Wind has measurement. Wind has measurement, and so does earth and water. Wind, earth, and water have measurement. Wind, only fire doesn't have measurement.
Okay, thank you.
Great day, Barry. Good day, Beryl. Good day, David.
Thank you very much.